No one wants to watch me play, except for this army of crazy aliens.
That's right, I modified thousands of lines of code from a legendary Brotato game for the sole purpose of reprogramming its characters to become my virtual viewers.
Of League of Legends.
When I play well, they all cheer and more come to support me. When I don't play well, they abandon me, just like everyone else. But let's go back to the beginning. In Brotato, you control a heavily armed potato that must survive hordes of deadly aliens. There's lots of action, weapons, characters, and bosses to fight. To be honest, it's a simple game, but it's quite entertaining. I typically play it on my secondary display between league matches, and I pause the game whenever a new match is ready. And you know, the rest is history. And history, it just repeats itself. But one day I thought to myself, wouldn't it be awesome if the chaotic little world of Brotato didn't pause and instead watched me play League through a cute virtual screen?
That actually sounds like a super cool project.
But before diving into any plans, I need to decompile Brotato. This will let me access the game's source code in a format that's readable and editable, so I can make any changes I need. I guess that we are essentially modding Brotato, just in an extreme way. But modding in general is fairly common in games like Skyrim, Mount & Blade, and of course Minecraft. Remember when it looked like this? For me, there's something incredibly satisfying about figuring out how the different components of a game fit together behind the scenes. And there's nothing quite like the thrill of building on top of a game and adding some crazy features that the developers certainly didn't account for. Oh, the game is decompiled, so let's take a look. Brotato was developed using an open source game engine called Godot, which means we can use it to open the project we just decompressed.
Apparently Godot has its own scripting language called GDScript, which resembles Python a lot, and that's pretty cool. The thing is that you can still use other languages inside the Godot engine to program games like C# and even LigmaScript.
I spent the next hours devising a plan to guide the implementation of new features and understanding how the existing code is structured. This process often involves lots of experimentation.
For example, we can comment this line of code, hit play, and we've crashed the game.
And what if we mess with the player instead? Frankly, it was painful to explore so much code in just a few hours, but with my newfound wisdom, I was able to create the ultimate list of unnecessary and over-the-top features that are way cooler than the base game alone. This legendary list includes the 72 tasks I must accomplish to fulfill our vision. We have a lot to implement, so there's no time to rest. We'll start with a trigger. The default behavior when the game window loses focus is to pause the game, which makes all sense from a game design perspective, but that will also be the trigger to initiate our little mod. After some fiddling, I found the code responsible for that behavior and replaced the pause event with an audience assemble event, which doesn't do much for now, except for playing this soothing voice clip.
Audience mode engaged!
I also took the chance to start creating my modules separate from the rest of the base game, on a folder called Custom.
I'm pretty good with names, you two bro.
While the audience mode is activated, we want no beef between the potato and the aliens, so there are some changes we need to make. If we go through the 650 lines that make up the player class definition, we eventually spot a pretty interesting method.
Wish I could disable my Earthbox.
We can reuse that in our code, and voila! An invulnerable potato. I also found a way to hide and disable the potato's weapons, making it both unarmed and unable to cause harm. Next, I want to program the potato to move to one of the map's edges where the big screen will be displayed. This apparently simple task is quite interesting, and here's why in 30 seconds. One of the reasons why game engines like Godot exist is to handle physics. They update the position of everything you see multiple times per second, making movement seem smooth and pleasing to the eye. In Brotato, there's also a function that continuously updates the player's movement based on key presses. It does a few things more than that, but let's ignore those. Then, to make the potato move to a specific coordinate by itself, we'll just override existent logic and instead rely on a direction vector to update its position until it reaches the final destination. Now it's time to manipulate the aliens. The base game uses this array to keep track of all living aliens. When an alien is destroyed, it's removed and freed from memory. And when an alien spawns, a reference to them is added to the array. This way, we can force all living aliens to stop following and attacking the potato. I then coded a couple of boring things. I stopped these plants from spawning, I got rid of the wave timer so that I can stream forever, I removed most of the UI since we no longer need to track health, experience or bling bling, and I started tracking the number of alien viewers in the audience. Given that we can now size our audience, let's focus on entertaining it with a screen. Unfortunately, we have low visibility outside of the map's edges, and that's exactly where the screen must appear. Earlier, I found this method which seems to handle camera placement according to the potato's position on the map, so if I were to make a tiny little adjustment, we should obtain the visibility we desire. And it's time to get a display! We'll create a Python script that captures frames from my main physical display and uses HTTP requests to serve them to Brotato. So I've just finished programming this Flask server over here, and that means that when you access a specific route under 127 screenshot, you get this, which is the base 64 encoded version of an image that is basically a screenshot from this main display. But if we decode the base 64 to binary and do a bunch of other shenanigans, we should have a steady stream of what's happening on my main display. Now that the first contact has been established and I got to meet the aliens, let me tell you something. They're kinda dumb. Or they just don't know anything about Wave, which is not a bad thing. In any case, in addition to streaming the gameplay images, we'll also have to analyze them, so we can then tell the audience if we're destroying our enemies or if we're just playing poorly. And the easiest way to analyze the gameplay is to be on the lookout for announcer events like this one, and attempt to extract information from them. We'll use Tesseract to extract text from specific coordinates in each frame, so we can map an event to an event importance, based on a list of keywords that appear in the announcer events. If we find that an event has just occurred, our next step is to determine which team triggered it. Let's use a combination of state-of-the-art AI algorithms to analyze. We'll just count pixels. The event information is being captured and sent, so the next step is to receive it in Brotato along with the image data we've already processed. And the long-awaited day to test everything out was arriving, but there was still work left to do. I needed to program simple cheering animations, allow for more aliens to arrive, choose the coolest celebratory music, add random speech messages in a yet-to-be-deciphered alien language, correct bugs, and much. Audience mode engaged! Okay, nice. Let's see if we get some aliens. Okay, nice. You can see all of them jumping, and we've got, I guess, 14 aliens. Oh, Dan is kind of evading. Go away. Go away, Dan. Why? Nice. I'm not sure what did you want. Yeah, I am alone again. Because of that Diana play, we have just lost all the audience we had. But I'm sure we can turn this around. Nice. Damn, Victor, that's just killing me constantly. It's kinda getting annoying, to be honest.
Betrayed.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Jesus. Okay, we're in a new game. These will hopefully go much better than the last one. I'm sure it will. Maybe we could make some play here. Okay, she doesn't have stun now. Let's just kill her here. They separated. Yeah, she's dead. Nice. 178 aliens. I just made the sounds proportionally loud to the number of aliens, so it will probably get to a point that it'll just be unbearable to listen to their chants supporting me. 357 aliens cheering, and now we have 368 aliens supporting us. Incredible. You can see that some of them are just jumping randomly, I'm not sure why. Yeah, of course that's a feature, that's not a bug. Not sure if it's worded or not, but... Let's... Oh, I think we tricked him. Is that? Absolutely dead. No chance. You can take him, Graves. Oh, I actually killed him. Take that. Yeah, I guess that the current version is pretty simple. We only see anything from the aliens when an event happens from the announcer. But it's still pretty cool. If you build on top of this, if you start adding ChatGPT messages, if you try to simulate the Twitch audience, yeah, I think it will become much more interesting. Nice. Yeah, they're all dead. You have no chance. We are 280 aliens supporting. You have no chance. Now I'm dead.